Hi, good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hey, Chan.
Hey, Steve.
Um, um, Today, what we're going to talk about, and I really hope that's not coming through what I hear, but anyway, because there's somebody's got a police going on, but
Yeah, there's
anyway,
some sort of sirens going by here in New York. Yes.
is it? Oh,
Sorry.
that's
New
a way
York.
of, well, so anyway, because of my video that I put up yesterday about Thanksgiving meal alternatives, that we're going to kind of elaborate a little bit more so on that. I know that the video kind of struck you and you kind of like the content that I put up that on that.
It really, really did, Steve. If you don't mind me mentioning, hi, everybody. Nice to see you on this Saturday afternoon. I got my coffee with me. Definitely have to have my coffee. It's a nice, chilly day. The other day, Steve posted a video about alternatives to Thanksgiving meals. And I liked it so much, I literally played it a couple of times. And I have to say, the reason what struck my nerve is that this is something you hardly ever hear anyone else ever saying on a video related to, quote, Thanksgiving recipes. And it's about the permission and the option to not have to make a prescribed meal, e.g., the turkey, the dressing, this and that in a certain manner. Because number one, Steve, I'm really glad you mentioned this because not number one, not everyone likes that kind of food. Let's just be blunt. Not everyone can afford a turkey. Not everyone has the time. So your mentioning those options in a way gave the viewer like a mental permission, like, wait a minute, Steve's right. I don't have to live according to this like prescribed box of food. I just want to commend you for that, Steve. I've never heard that on another video. I have never heard it. I'm just speaking for myself. So I commend you for that. I had to point that out, and I think it's great.
Well, also, I'll tell you where part of that comes in on me, and it's not from recent times. When I was a kid, there were a couple of years that I can remember specifically where times got really hard for us. And we really did have to rely on welfare. My dad had lost his job, and, you know, a couple of bills had gotten delinquent. Um, Payments on where we were living fell behind, they almost repossessed. So I do know what it's like to be in financial hardship. I saw it as a kid. And there were times at Thanksgiving, Christmas, you kind of had to make do with what you had. If all you had was some canned goods and some mashed potatoes or regular potatoes, I know a lot of people don't eat meat. I know that I've gotten some comments back on that um, from yesterday's video. No, it does not always have to be, well, it's Thanksgiving again, time to drag out the turkey and the ham. No, some people don't like turkey. Some people prefer chicken instead. It's still a poultry.
That's right.
If you don't want the chicken, it's like I mentioned, you could also do a good type of fish. You could do fish and chip. To me, even though it is an important day, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that, wherever, we're gathering together, but you can make it whatever you want. There's no carved in stone that it has to be this. No, change it if you
You could
want.
be thankful without having it to be that specific prescribed traditional meal. Now, one year, I'll never forget this, bless my mom's heart, she's gone now. But about 10 or 15 years ago, and this was for Thanksgiving, she begged me practically to make my homemade meatloaf. I have different variations, Steve, on my meatloaf. And one of her favorite ones that I make is the one that I've stuffed with mashed potatoes in the center. So I said, Mom, how about this? I'll definitely make you the meatloaf, no problem. But in addition to that, why can't we incorporate some other form of turkey? So you know what I did, Steve? I made turkey cutlets. So it was the best of both worlds. I made her the meatloaf that she wanted with the stuffed mashed potatoes. I made the turkey cutlets, but want to laugh? My favorite part of the turkey meal, like you, I love the cranberry sauce. I am just
Hmm.
we can have components of it. People could just work around it. The chicken we've done some years, Steve. We've done like those oven stuff for roasters instead of a huge turkey. Like when it's like just two people, do we really need a 24-pound turkey? It all depends.
No.
Everybody's situation is so different.
Well, that's true. If it's just you and your mom, there are a few avenues because, like I said, my mom predeceased my dad, and we eventually just narrowed it down to like this turkey roast. You can get them. Butterball makes them. They're frozen, and you can put them in a crock pot. You can do it up just like you would a roast to put the carrots and the potatoes. You can do it up like a regular, but it's turkey instead of beef or say a pork,
They're good.
and
I've had them.
it turns out superb. If you don't want to go that route in a turkey world, you could do a little butterball. They have butterballs that are like 11 pounds. They're small, smaller butter. Or like you say, and we've done the chicken. I have no problem with the chicken, not at all. The turkey cutlets was a good compromise. That works. Um, Matter of fact, um, somebody left me a comment about wanting to do a meatloaf up a certain way for the holidays. And I replied back, I said, I like your idea. I never thought of that.
Nice.
But the way that this person's going to put it together, this person, um, they're going to, do it up a certain way,
Certain
you
way.
know, right. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really, and I'm really looking forward, to the outcome of that. If they decide to let me know about it. So yeah, never feel like on a holiday or because you know it's like eating, and I know some people do. I've done it before. It's like eating breakfast for lunch, breakfast for dinner. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing.
A matter of
And
fact,
yes.
I would rather eat breakfast for dinner, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a protein and it shuts off your appetite.
Oh yeah. You feel good when your appetite is shut off. And another thing, Steve, methodology. For example, the whole world doesn't have a conventional stove, kitchen, the works. No. In real life, many people do. But in real life, a lot of people don't. So, wasn't it you that you showed us a vehicle, a matter of making like the turkey and everything in the crock pot, for example, which is something that most people can obtain, like the whole meal. I think the stuffing and the turkey, or the chicken and the turkey. I don't know if it was you or someone else, but recently someone did something to that effect.
No, it wasn't me. I haven't done any. I haven't
Or
done
I could have just
anything.
come across a video of that nature. People can do these things in their crock pot, Steve, is what I'm trying to say.
You
And they
can.
don't have to they don't need their conventional oven. That's what I'm, really trying to convey about that.
No, I've never made a turkey in the slow cooker. I have done a small chicken roaster. I've done that. But I've never done a turkey. I don't know how long that one would be one to look up because I know a turkey can take a little while, but I don't see why that wouldn't work. You could
Well,
you
I think what the person did, Steve, in this case, they took like parts, maybe parts of a turkey or chicken cutlets or turkey cutlets, and combined it with the sweet potato and combined it with, the bread stuffing that we discussed, that we like, and put it
yeah.
all in this crock pot, no oven required.
Yeah. And again, one thing nice about the slow cooker, I think I might have mentioned this before. Once you put everything in there and it's to your liking, you close the lid, you set the temperature, and you're done. The only thing you got to do is regulate the time because not all slow cookers will automatically go over to the warm setting. The one that I have will. I've got a touchpad. So when it gets through cooking that length of time, it reverts over to the warm setting. So I can be out and about gone, and it'll automatically do that for me.
I love that.
Some slow cookers have a dial you got to watch.
Yeah.
So
Steve, getting back to slow cooker for a minute, because slow cooker is such an integral part of my life that I enjoy, like, especially if it's a weekend and I want to do other things, for example. But I'm curious, did you get a reasonable price for your touchpad one? Very affordable?
yeah, yeah, I bought it back in 2017 about the time Hurricane, not Matthew, Irma. I got to remember because we've also had one called Ivan that hit further over in the Panhandle, some years back, and for some reason I get the two confused sometime. Hurricane Irma, I went to Walmart and I paid it was on sale for $14.96 or 15 and some change. You can still buy that same crock pot. It's a 4.5 quart, but it's up around $30 now.
Wow, you got a good size there. 4.5 quart, I think
Four and a
seems
half,
like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is a good size. So
And it's not so premature. Some people might be thinking, well, wait a minute, we didn't even go to Halloween yet, and we're talking about Thanksgiving. Actually, Steve and I are in agreement of this. Once you hit October 31st, it's like sliding down a hill real fast. And
oh,
here
it
you
is.
then it's like boom, then it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is. Once my birthday hits, or once you start getting into that last week of October, remember, everybody, 3 weeks later and a couple of days after, usually, bam, Thanksgiving. 1 month later, boom, you got Christmas. And Christmas come from leaving Thanksgiving to go to Christmas in the gap time is actually pretty fast, and I'll tell you why. Because you usually have Black Friday, which we're not even going to get into that. I did that one time. Never again. But because of the shopping and the Black Friday and this and that, Christmas seems to come a little faster than Halloween to Thanksgiving. Don't ask me why, but it just
It
does.
does. It really, really does. And don't forget, like they like the Rockefeller Center tree. It's just like all these like little events that lead up to it, even on TV, like with specials that we love to watch, stuff that we watched when we were kids and all that. No, the holiday season, I don't know about you, Steve, but once I hit October, I'm not gonna lie, I start thinking holiday.
Hmm.
I know it sounds premature, but it's really not. It's really not.
Yeah, I had a $15 credit that I had to go use up on this past week, and I put a picture of it up on social media. Perhaps you saw it, and I had a pumpkin pie spice milkshake. I know a lot of people don't care for it. This milkshake, when you ate it, it wasn't heavily pumpkined. It actually had a subtle pumpkin taste, not too harsh, but I tasted more vanilla than I did pumpkin. And if you go back to on my page, you'll see where it had the caramel on top and everything. So I did that. It was really good. And, because I do like the taste of pumpkin. Although I know some people don't, but, you know.
I love it. Steve, I know that you remembered my video from the other day. I mean, that was a total mistake, the hot chocolate thing. Just imagine this. I get this box, Steve, okay? This big box. And I'm like, but why does it say 6 envelopes if it's a big box? It says there's something baffling about it. And then when I opened it and I saw 6 regular hot chocolate envelopes and then 6 of these dinky little, I picked it up. Now, suppose I didn't know anything about it and picked it up and opened it up and poured all these little specks of marshmallow in. That would be hilarious. Like the first time, I'd be like laughing hysterically. But it's really not funny. To me, it was a sneaky way of just getting people to buy things like this. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Well, my viewpoint on that is this. The last time I bought that particular hot chocolate was about 1998. And they were getting the marshmallows were getting small at that time. But from what you're describing, you're talking about little specks now.
To me,
So
it looks like little speckles. It didn't even when it was like with the hot water on it, it didn't even grow to the size of a typical pencil eraser. You know, a number 2 pencil, number 2 pencil eraser. It didn't even grow to that size. To me,
no,
it's a marketing ploy. And I love what you said, and I agree with you about buying your own darn marshmallows.
yeah, because back in '98 they were a little bit bigger than the head of a pencil eraser. They were a little bit bigger. But now, from what you're saying, and they're doing that for money cost. No, no, no. Buy your hot chocolate. You can get whatever you want. If you want to do it over the saucepan with the Nestle Quick or the Toll House chocolate, however you want to make it up, the old-fashioned way. Buy a bag of marshmallows, miniature. You can buy the bigger one, but that doesn't work all that great. But you can. But buy you some miniature marshmallows. Get a little handful, drop it in there, and you will appreciate it. And it's also a lot cheaper too to go that route.
Absolutely.
Well, okay. I can't really think of any more to add as far as elaborating on my video yesterday. It's pretty self-explanatory, because never feel like, oh, but it's Thanksgiving, I have to eat a special kind of meal, I have to eat. No, you don't. If you want to eat headphones, if you want to eat a regular meal of your choice on Thanksgiving or even at Christmas time, feel free to do it. You don't have to be tied in and have to eat turkey or ham. You don't, chicken is fine. The meatloaf is fine. If you want to do a Salisbury steak with gravy, whatever you like.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it. You can put any kind of sides you want with it, potatoes, whatever kind of pie. It's what you like. So
That's right.
don't ever feel like you're wedged in to do. No, you're not. I did happen to hear from a subscriber. They know who they are. They had signed up for a turkey meal or something to be delivered. They signed up. They never came, and the only thing this person was left with was a Tombstone pizza. There's nothing wrong with pizza. You can do pizza for Thanksgiving if you want, but thank goodness this person had that to fall back on.
Yeah. That's why it's not so soon that here we are in October talking about this. If because life changes, we don't know. I mean, once again, certain prices are going up. I'm not getting into it, but if you could get some of the stuff now, get it. The freezer is there.
Yeah. And you're going to start seeing a lot of things slowly start to go on sale too, because now you're getting toward October, November, the holidays. You're going to start seeing a lot more BOGOs and things like that. And definitely, if you see that in your area, go get them and stock up if you can.
Absolutely. I saw some frozen pumpkin pies that looked like at a really good price too. So just another thing to consider. Why not be ready?
Yeah, frozen pumpkin pie. My air fryer's not big enough, but I would like to get a frozen pie and cut it up 4 ways and maybe do it by the slice. I would like to try heating up or cooking a piece of pie, eventually do the whole pie, but in slices in my air fryer. I want to
like
try
that
that.
idea. That's a great idea for portion control. Suppose you don't want to take down the whole pie, for portion, like you're forced to eat it up in a few days. No, I agree with you. Maybe you just want like a quarter of that pie, and then that's good. I like that idea.
Yeah, and I'll probably start. I mean, people think like every year around the holidays, my brother-in-law likes to buy a key lime pie from Publix, which I do like. And I'm really the only one that really eats it, maybe one other person in the household. But then I wind up taking it back with me because I like it. But they need to realize that's not the only pie I like. I'm pretty open to different types of pies. but I also like a good cherry pie.
Yeah.
So if I had to do a Mrs. Smith's, that's where I would start. I would probably purchase a Mrs. Smith's, cut it 4 ways, the slice, put it in the air fryer, whatever amount of time, and have just that piece.
Absolutely.
And then put the rest of it back in the freezer. All right. Well, I can't think of anything else to mention. If you're good,
I'm
okay.
good.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in this afternoon. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to go ahead and close out with a little exiting music that's appropriate for this time of year, and we'll say bye bye to everybody. So
Bye
I'll
bye.
be right back. All right. Bye.